Hello and welcome to Totally Unprofessional. We're your hosts, Damian Botner
and Alyx Bailey, and we're here to give you a totally unprofessional view on art, culture, and our everyday experiences. All right. So,
welcome to episode 2, everybody.
Episode 2, it's a good time. We're here to party and talk about some stuff.
So, we're going to be talking about 3 separate topics today, and we're going to start off with topics relating to culture. Alyx, do you want to go first?
Sure. So with culture, basically the only thing trending right now that I could see on my feed was the Grammys, because the Grammys happened, like a few days ago? Last week? Something.
They happened just a couple nights ago.
Yeah. So I thought I'd talk a little bit about that, but in particular, I wanted to talk about Lady Gaga, because, Gaga is incredible on my standards, personally.
I do love me some Gaga.
Oh, she is wonderful. So she performed at the Grammys. She sang a mix between the songs Joanne and A Million Reasons off her 2016 album Joanne. At the Grammys, she was nominated for Best Pop Vocal Album and Best Pop Solo Performance. I don't know why she didn't win those, obviously. What do you think, Damian? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I really do love me some Gaga.
She's so good.
She's definitely in my top 10 favorite artists of, this day and age.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, there was just some major stuff happening at the Grammys. Everybody was super pumped with the nominees. But the winners, it was overall male. And I guess we can talk about
yeah.
We're both talking about artists at the Grammys.
That is true.
I'm going to be talking about Kesha at the Grammys. So we can just bounce this back and forth from each other.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was super excited that Gaga got nominated.
Oh yeah.
But I was not pumped when I heard she didn't win.
No, and even just earlier tonight, we actually saw who did win. We didn't actually watch the Grammys, but we read up on it later. We were probably working. But I don't know. Just first of all, the album itself, Joanne. I didn't get into it at first.
Such a great album.
But when I did, oh my God! When I actually listened to it full length, I downloaded it immediately to my phone. And I don't do that often.
Yeah, he does not download.
But I downloaded the entire thing and have listened to it for at least 3 weeks straight. It is a phenomenal album.
Yeah, I hopped on the Joanne train very early on. I was super pumped when I heard Million Reasons. Then...
and just I watched the movie
5'2"
5'2"
on Netflix.
It made me cry, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh no, absolutely.
Just the story behind the whole album and the song Joanne and everything was so incredible, and just watching the things that she's gone through and her develop her own style, it was incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. She's an amazing person. She's definitely gone through some shit.
Mm-hmm. I'm just finding herself as an artist.
Yeah.
I love that she found what she wanted
similarly to Kesha,
yeah,
she started out very poppy.
Yeah.
And very Kesha, TikTok.
The party don't stop.
And Gaga started out with Poker Face.
Right.
Just those signature early 2000s pop songs that everybody learned to love.
You have to love them.
Yeah, absolutely. But then she just, as the years go on, and I think it's great to see artists grow within themselves. But she definitely found her roots, what inspired her, why she got into music in the first place.
And I think a lot of artists, especially particularly female, that I've noticed lately is they're trying to find their roots, and they're trying to find what they love to do rather than what the producers want or what they're I wouldn't say what the public wants, but it's more personal.
Yeah, they're definitely taking it into like their own means. They don't want to just produce stuff for radio necessarily, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But it's more about their personal interests.
So I wanted to talk about at the Grammys. I mean, I took note of Gaga's performance mostly, but like our two people that we're talking about today for the culture section, they kind of related to each other with their performances. In particular, like Gaga, she she started off singing Joanne, which was wonderful, and
Beautiful.
it was just piano, and it was gorgeous. Oh my god. But she referenced the Time's Up movement in between switching from Joanne to Million Reasons, the transition. She said Time's Up, and that's also a lot of what like Kesha focuses on.
Yeah, Kesha's really I don't know how directly involved she is with the Me Too movement, but she was also going for the Time's Up movement, which, if you're not familiar with it, the Me Too movement is like survivors of sexual assault. I think it's just for women.
If not just for women, it's mostly. Like directed.
It's directed for women, by women.
Yeah.
And it's a campaign of people coming forward saying, yes, I have experienced this. You're not alone. It sucks, but we're going to get through this because we're strong as hell. And I'm not super familiar with the Time's Up movement. You just mentioned that prior to the podcast.
Yeah. I looked it up earlier, and I didn't like do some heavy research on the movement itself, but I did read that it was a legal type movement where
let me look it up.
Yeah, legally, it's they're like people that are dedicated towards legally assisting people who are discriminated against or sexually assaulted in the entertainment what is it, like entertainment industry? Yeah, industry is the word I was looking for. It's specifically for
here is
harassment
or
assault sexually or even non-sexually for.
So it was started January 1 of 2018.
January 1.
Yeah. And I'm on their website right now. It's timesupnow.com. We'll link it in the description. But it says, the clock has run out on sexual assault, harassment, and inequality in the workplace. It's time to do something about it. And there's this little in solidarity post. It's pretty simple website, straightforward, and in big bold letters it says "Dear Sisters." It's a letter of solidarity sent by 700,000 female farm workers to a legion of Hollywood actors. Time's Up is a unified call for change from women in entertainment for women everywhere. From movie sets to farm fields to boardrooms alike, we envision a nationwide leadership that reflects the world in which we live. This is beautiful.
That's amazing. Yeah. I think it's so cool that these artists have not only have this, but also that they're talking about it in situations like the Grammys. That's huge. And
that's the whole point of it. It's for people in the entertainment industry to take control of the power that they have in the entertainment industry and use it to better the world.
It's just so interesting that it happened
and that
at
was
the Grammys, which is
something crazy. That they did at the Grammys to reference this was a bunch of the artists that went to the Grammys wore white roses to reference that. And then I think it was Janelle Ray.
What?
Not
Janelle Ray. That she works.
Janelle Monáe.
Yeah, I hope Janelle Ray listens to this podcast.
God, I love you, Janelle.
Shout out to Janelle Ray. She's a wonderful lady.
Janelle Monáe got up on stage and said something about it. Brought it up.
Yeah.
she like introduced what it is, and then Gaga said time's up.
Mm-hmm.
And within Kesha's performance, she performed her Grammy nominated song Praying.
Such an amazing song.
Absolutely incredible song. But she performed that with, I know Cyndi Lauper, Baby Rexha, hold on. Give me just a second.
Yeah, you're fine.
I did have the list.
Yeah. It was there.
It's pulled up, but
Their performances.
Camila Cabello, Cyndi Lauper, Baby Rexha, Julia Michaels, and a few other. What is the chorus? I don't want to leave them out. They're very important. Oh, gee.
You could just like feel the emotion.
Oh, she was on the verge of crying.
Oh,
this
she was
whole
incredible.
performance.
You could tell she was like, it was coming from her heart.
Andra Day.
The same way with Gaga too. Like just watching it gave me cold chills. Watching the songs that she performed.
Why can I not find the name of that chorus that was with them?
The white was it White Roses that they all wore, or just White Flowers? Or?
It was White Roses.
Yeah. I know that. Of course, bringing it back to Gaga, she wore on the red carpet. She wore like a black dress, and then had a white rose on the black dress, which was nice. And then I saw the picture of all the or not the picture, the video of Kesha's performance, and it was beautiful.
Why? The Resistance Revival Chorus.
There it is.
Yes, so it's all these beautiful, beautiful people up there supporting her, and you could just tell that she was on the verge of tears because this song is directly referencing the sexual abuse and otherwise abuse that she experienced with her producer, Dr. Luke. He had allegedly forced her to commit many acts against her will and threatened Kesha's family, saying that if they went public, he would ruin her career and public appearance. But essentially, she gave him a big middle finger, and for 4 years, she was under wraps, like, not allowed to release music. This trial was just killing her. Yeah. I think...
I always wondered what happened to Kesha. I just never... Yeah.
Well, I knew about it, and I didn't know the extent of it. It was, like... I wasn't a super huge, like, dedicated animal, as she calls them.
Yeah.
Fan.
Same with me and the Monsters,
But I loved Kesha, and I always admired her work, but I didn't keep up with her. This was back when we were seniors in high school.
Right, and like, her songs were really fun. And we all knew and loved them, but, like, they weren't, like, hitting us the way that other music was at the time.
Right. It was just not that time in our lives.
Right.
So when I did do my research, I found out, she went through, let's see. This case was, I want to say 2014. But the case was dropped in August of 2016. Kesha released Praying, her single that was Grammy nominated. She was nominated for best, let me see, I have it pulled up, best pop vocal album for her album Rainbow, and best pop solo performance for the song Praying. So she released Praying in July of 2017. Pardon me.
Did they have the exact same nominations?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Okay. How did none of them? Oh.
I don't know. Like, the nominations for those categories were incredible, but I'm not 100% sure who won. I think Bruno Mars won one of them.
I think that I know Ed Sheeran won.
Best pop vocal album.
I think we just loved them so much, and
Everyone
everyone loved them so much that they couldn't do it anymore, and they voted for somebody else instead.
Well, that was last year. Oh my gosh, why can't I find them? I had them pulled up. 2018.
You did have them pulled up, like, literally.
Grammy winners. Okay.
Goodness.
So, album of the year was 24 Karat Magic by Bruno Mars.
I've never even listened to anything off that album.
Song of the year. Hold on. Give me a second. Best pop vocal album winner was Divide by Ed Sheeran. Yeah, I was right. And best pop solo performance was Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. So not only was so the nominees for those two categories was for best pop vocal album, it was Joanne by Lady Gaga, Evolve by Imagine Dragons, Kaleidoscope EP by Coldplay, Lust for Life by Lana Del Rey, and Rainbow by Kesha.
Lana's amazing.
So it was equally divided between men and women in the nominations, but men overwhelmingly won in the Grammys this year.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of controversy about that.
And maybe that's why so many female like artists wanted to speak out about like Me Too or Time's Up, because they are so much like they're not as appreciated, I feel like, as a lot of male artists.
No, and get this.
And
Ed Sheeran was the only male artist nominated for Best Pop Solo Performance. So out of the choices, Ed Sheeran won over Love So Soft by Kelly Clarkson, Million Reasons by Lady Gaga, What About Us by Pink, and Praying by Kesha. And no offense to Ed Sheeran, I'm just not a huge fan. It's not my style of music. I appreciate it as an art. But out of all of those choices, I'm sorry, I have to give it to Kesha.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, I love Gaga.
No, I love Gaga too, and I love Million Reasons, but I would also choose Praying.
Is such an important song.
And it's not even like, I feel so bad calling it like pop, that's like pop song, because it feels so much more than that.
Well, I don't know what the definition of pop is other than it makes it on the radio.
Yeah, that's it. When people talk about, I listen to pop music, I'm like, so you listen to
everything?
Like 104.5? Like
104.5 The Cat.
Yeah, you listen to just like generic
94.5
radio music.
Yeah.
It's just so much more, and there's so much heart into it.
Do you have anything to say about Joanne as a whole?
Oh, God.
Like, I mean, other than that, it's an incredible album.
The whole album, I think, the story behind it is really amazing. For those who don't know, Lady Gaga's father's late sister passed.
Yeah, her great aunt.
Yeah, her great aunt passed away when she was super young.
From. Come on.
You know, I knew at one point.
I've got this whole research paper open about Kesha.
Okay, that's listen. We're doing some research, but the whole thing is about this family member that passed when she was young, and
she died of lupus.
I read that earlier. I just forgot entirely. But anyways, I started blanking.
Let me pull this up. So, it was named after Joanne Germanotta.
And it's not like a sad album either. That's the thing, is like,
she died from lupus when she was like 16.
Yeah, it was like 16 or 17.
No, she was 19.
Oh, okay.
March 1955. She was 19 years old. And if you've seen 5'2",
yeah, it talks about it a lot.
She goes to her grandmother's house and just has this incredible emotional. It's like visceral.
She sings Joanne to her, and like some of the family, like what was it? Somebody in her family had to like leave.
It was her grandfather.
Yeah, her grandfather had to leave the room.
Crying.
Yeah, he started crying, had to leave the room. It was so emotional. And like the album itself, like I was saying, isn't it like a sad album? Like, was like a few of the songs talk about like her friends and like, having a great time with her.
Grigio Girls.
Yeah, Grigio Girls. I love Grigio Girls. It's
so fun. It's so upbeat and happy.
Talking about hanging out and all the friends,
hair,
all the
drinking
good
wine.
times they'd have, and it's so good.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But then, there are the songs like Angel Down and Million Reasons and Joanne that they hit you right in the feels.
It makes you have cold chills. Like, I don't know if that's just me always listening to music with cold chills, but the whole thing gives me cold chills.
The first time I listened to that album all the way through, Joanne, start to finish, sobbed the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Except for in John Wayne.
I love that.
That song, that music video is incredible. Speaking of music videos, have you watched the music video that Kesha released? I can't remember when she released it. Let me find it real fast.
Okay. We're going on 20 minutes.
Yeah, this is great. We're doing great.
Yeah, we're doing good. I just wanted to update you.
Let's see. Well, first of all, the Praying music video. It was released 6 months ago, so roughly...
I don't think I've seen it.
Oh, it's
Is it wonderful?
insane.
Oh.
Like, you have to watch it. We're going to watch it as soon as we wrap this up.
Oh, yeah.
And Learn to Let Go, which is another song off of Rainbow.
Mm-hmm.
She uses footage of her as a little girl.
Oh.
She has these home videos that she puts in, like...
Sweet baby angel.
Oh, sweet baby angel. Absolute sweet baby angel.
Baby angel.
So it's just these home videos of her.
That's so personal.
It is.
That's so...
It's
for...
unimaginably intimate.
Right, yeah.
You feel like you know her and
that's
that
so
you've known her.
vulnerable.
Yeah.
Like, to share something like that, like,
I mean,
especially, like, with, like, being such a big name, there's so much, like, a privacy thing that people want to keep, but she just, like, expresses that.
Right. I mean, people have done that before.
Yeah.
But the content of this song plus those home videos,
exactly.
It's just amazing. Like, it's stunning. But we're gonna wrap this up.
The culture part, yes.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap the culture segment up because we have some really other interesting things that we really want to talk about.
So many interesting things also. You start this one out.
Okay.
This next, the art topic.
Oh boy. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about things that are happening in art, like, recently. So I'm going to be talking about something that happened, I had it September 15th of 2017. But these stories have just been coming out, like, within the past week. I think it was the 25th of January that they were posted. But the Guggenheim Museum received an email from Donna Hayashi Smith on September 15th, who is, like, I guess, a communications coordinator for the White House, about an art loan. The request was for the Van Gogh painting titled Landscape with Snow, which I feel like I should easily know what that looks like, but I don't.
I know, yes.
Because Van Gogh's one of my, like, I'm an impressionist hoe.
All about him. You were so about impressionism.
I'm going to look it up. Landscape. I can type.
Can you?
With snow.
Damian has thumbs.
I do have thumbs. Wow. Oh, wow. This is beautiful. I mean, and I'm sure absolutely way more incredible in person.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
this
that
is
nice.
Incredible. You'd think that I would have done this prior to talking about it.
I mean, you can only do so much.
That's just, oh my gosh, here you go. Look at that.
Yeah, I want to look at that.
But while I tell you about this. So the request was for that painting, Landscape with Snow, which is dated 1888 by Vincent van Gogh himself. And the hope was for it to be used to decorate the White House for Melania and the President of the United States' living quarters.
No, see, the paint's too thick on this. They don't deserve it.
Well, how are you just going to go to the Goog and be like,
hey,
can I borrow that?
Hey, Guggenheim, see that painting? I want it.
I want it to decorate my living quarters.
Yeah. I mean, same, but God.
So I am referencing these. It's an ArtNet News article and a couple other sources. But the museum's chief curator, Nancy Spector, had other ideas for that. She offered up another piece of artwork. That piece of artwork is, forgive me, I don't know how to say the artist's name. Maruzio Catalin? Is that how you would say that? Maurizio? Maurizio Catalan?
Yeah.
Catalan.
Yeah, sure.
The piece is titled America, which,
God.
starting off great.
Bless.
So, it's titled America, and it is an 18-karat gold replica of a Kohler toilet, and it is fully functional.
Fully functional golden toilet.
Fully functional. So,
Yes.
shout out to you, Nancy Spector.
Yeah.
She picked, and a lot of people are so pissed off about this. The title of this article is Fox host demands resignation of Guggenheim's curator who offered Trump a golden toilet.
Oh, man.
Was Nancy Spector's offer of Maurizio Catalan's toilet a quote-unquote sick burn or an act of extreme disrespect?
It's a total sick burn. Like, she needs a raise.
Oh, I know.
She should be the president.
But get this. Best thing about this toilet, it's totally functional and is installed in the Guggenheim. People use it all the time.
Yes. The fact that people use it.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's a used toilet. You're going to get a used toilet rather than this Van Gogh.
Yeah, so it's a 2017 artwork. This artist, I haven't looked at any of his other works, but I'm definitely going to after this. But, like, oh my God, it's amazing. So funny.
It's huge.
And forgive me for thinking it's funny, but it's
it's
funny.
Hilarious. Like, I don't see how someone can just be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna borrow this Van Gogh real quick, thanks. Like, no, you don't get that. You don't deserve that.
Let's see. The art newspaper's Georgina Adam, on the other hand, wrote that Spector was, quote-unquote, descending into Trump's level, equating her email with one of Trump's tweets.
Okay.
And the quote is, a gift to those who already castigate the liberal metropolitan elite as being sneering and out of touch with the ordinary person.
Okay, but an email is private. It's not... It's not a tweet for everyone to see.
They called it, quote-unquote, embarrassing chaos.
He was just mad because he didn't get what he wanted.
Let's see. There's a whole, it was trending on Twitter. It was funny.
Yes.
But yeah, it's definitely a, straight out middle finger. So over 100,000 people have already used this toilet in the museum restroom.
We're going to use it.
We're going to also use it if it doesn't get transported to the White House, which they rejected the offer.
No.
They rejected the offer because they said, screw you. But yeah, we're going.
Damian and I are going to New York in, 5.5 weeks or so?
Yeah, so it's going to be March 9th.
Yeah, and we're going to the Guggenheim, and we're going to use that toilet.
We're going to use that toilet, and we're going to take pictures of it, and we're going to post them and tag.
And we're going to tag Donald Trump.
We're going to tag Donald Trump. Let's see. There was another quote that I wanted to read out of here because it was funny. So it says, it is not clear if Miss Spector will be faced to discipline. The Guggenheim rehired her from the Brooklyn Museum last year. So, essentially nobody said if she's going to get any crap for this in her job. But, she totally doesn't deserve it.
No. Yeah.
I mean, yes, totally unprofessional.
In a professional sense, she probably really deserves something. But just, that's so amazing to do as even, a political type statement. I'm sure she didn't mean it that way, but whatever she meant, I'm here to support her.
Here's the quote. So this is from the artist Catalan. He noted when explaining the piece, and this is from a New York Times article, which I will link. I'm going to link all my sources.
Oh, yeah, we're going to link the sources in the description or something.
But this is from a New York Times article. It says, in explaining the piece, Catalan noted, quote, whatever you eat, a $200 lunch or a $2 hot dog, the results are the same toilet-wise, unquote.
Oh.
So.
Wow. I like that.
I mean, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, no.
You're flushing all your money down this golden toilet.
Yeah. Dang, that's a nice piece.
I know.
Wow, I wish I thought of that.
I know. Tell me about it.
That's a really nice piece, actually.
Tell me about it.
People, I hate when people are like, oh, it's just a toilet. And I'm like, No, but really, like, think about it.
Yeah.
Because it's really cool.
All right.
And true.
So tell me about your, we're both talking about, like, semi-scandals.
Oh, yeah. No, this week, like, this second episode, we're just going right in. We have, like, planned for talking about artists themselves and, like, stuff like that. But no, this episode, we're just going right into calling people out on their shit.
Okay.
Okay, so we all know, most of us know about...
No and love. That's sarcasm.
Most people know about, in 2012, the Hobby Lobby lawsuit that was filed.
No, Alyx, I don't know. Tell me.
It's... well, this is just like a precursor.
Okay.
Where Hobby Lobby didn't want to provide their employees birth control on religious grounds.
I did totally know that. I just wanted you to say it.
Yeah. So that's just like a precursor. We all know that. But they did more things that I will tell you about, Damian.
Tell me.
Listeners. Okay. So in 2011, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers seized over 5,000 artifacts.
5,000? That's a lot.
Yeah.
Jesus.
5,000. It's from United Arab, what is this? Emirates and Israel to Hobby Lobby headquarters in Oklahoma City. They smuggled ancient cuneiform tablets.
Oh my God! Art history.
Yeah.
Get it back.
They like, it was... You just yelled into your microphone. No, they literally took... Okay, I'll explain. But, like, cuneiform tablets, all kinds of, like, really interesting...
And if you don't know what cuneiform is, it's an ancient form of writing.
Yeah. Super
an ancient
cool,
form of writing
old.
that is way interesting.
But they're from Iraq, right?
Right.
They're from Iraq.
Okay.
And they falsely labeled crates to bring them into the U.S. saying,
so they knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they were fully aware. They were saying that they were samples made in Turkey. Like, that's suspicious, yeah.
Made in Turkey.
So apparently, importing cultural property from Iraq has been protected by restrictions since 1990. And
hi, it's 2018, but this is 2017. Or what did this happen?
This happened
year?
in 2011, but recent things have come out within the past.
Okay, go more.
Okay.
Go more.
So they ended up they got a notice from somebody, like the company itself, saying that, hey, if you do this, because they were wanting to buy them, they're like, hey, if you do this, they're probably gonna get confiscated by U.S. Customs, so you shouldn't do it. And they didn't.
But instead, they were like,
instead, David Green,
David, you dirty bird,
the founder guy of Hobby Lobby, super Christian guy, he went to Iraq, and met with dealers,
like black market dealers,
like dealers to look at these ancient objects that were like scattered on the ground, not presented well, and he bought them for $1.6 million, right? But he wired the money to 7 personal bank accounts associated with 5 different people, and falsely claimed that they were artifacts from Israel rather than Iraq, which is like a big no. Don't do that. That's so creepy. That is not okay.
7 personal bank accounts.
7.
So he divided this $1.6 million up into 7 personal bank accounts. That's still an insane amount of money to each personal bank. I mean, to us, we're poor. We're broke college students.
We had to sit and think about buying these microphones.
That's okay.
They don't so long. They were not even expensive.
No, not at all. I mean, relatively not expensive.
Also, to ship them to the U.S., they used multiple addresses and sent amounts of the artifacts low enough so that Customs, it would go under the radar.
So they
sent it to different addresses low enough so that they wouldn't it wouldn't red flag their system.
Sneaky bastards.
Exactly. That's so sketchy beyond all belief. They just did like common smuggling things.
This is like a really...
That's so shady.
If you don't know what Hobby Lobby is...
Oh, it's just a craft type store.
It's a crafting, arts and
crafts type store.
And they have like home goods and like decorations.
And smuggling.
It's a DIY place. And like, you know, Michael's, that's all I can think of.
Yeah, Michael's.
That's it. I'm in a loss. We're in a region where it's kind of dry.
But so the reason they think that they did this was because David Green wanted to open a museum of the Bible.
So he bought this with intents for his company at the beginning. Or no, with intents for this.
I think it's just like his museum.
But he used the company as a ploy?
He used the company.
Or is it just bad because he's tied to them?
I don't know. It might. I think it's the company because it went to the Hobby Lobby headquarters in Oklahoma City. So I guess it's like him through the company opening this museum of the Bible.
Screw up your company's headquarters by trying to do some smuggling for your personal museum.
Right, a museum of the Bible that he wanted to put these artifacts in. Like, by all means, open up a museum of the Bible, but don't smuggle Iraq artifacts, ancient artifacts.
Do it correctly.
Right. They've gotten so much backlash from this because, I mean, they took these artifacts from their original location and tried to put them in the U.S. in some Bible museum. Like, that's so
white
messed
people.
up. White people. Hashtag white people.
I mean, I'm a white people.
I mean, yeah, we're both white, but, like, still, white people stop.
You gotta stop.
You just gotta stop doing it.
You gotta stop taking from other people.
Yeah.
Get your own culture.
Got, like, backlashed for not being properly trained on how to handle, like, ancient artifacts.
Oh, they're destroying them, too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot.
Oh, it makes me want to cry because...
As an art student, as an artist,
with an art history awareness, I'm not gonna say I'm an expert, but like,
by all means,
these
we're
things,
totally unprofessional.
Totally unprofessional. These things are so important and crucial to where art is now. Without these, you know, things such as the Venus of Willendorf and these, I mean, any ancient writings, it's all ancient art. Without those, we wouldn't be where we are now.
Oh, no.
You wouldn't have been able to, you know, use the Ionic symboling of the pubic triangle in, you know,
mind blanking.
Picasso's
Demoiselle d'Avignon?
Yes.
You mean my favorite?
Yes. All of the Ionic symboling he references
and
art
like all
history.
The ancient African
it
type,
starts with the fertility goddesses and that figure and the way that goddesses were portrayed, and then it moves on to Hatshepsut and or not Hatshepsut, but like any Egyptian styles, Greco-Roman styles, Roman style, Greek styles, Greco-Roman, Roman.
It has to have two because Greek and Roman are the same.
Greek and Roman are the same. Yeah. The Romans were scam artists.
Yeah, they were great scammers, just like Hobby Lobby.
Oh, and then you know, without that piece would not exist.
Exactly, you can't.
And when you
touch history
with your own handsies, your handsies unprotected, and you touch these artifacts, it deteriorates them.
It's ruining them, and you're taking them from their original context. All of it's fucked up. You
Absolutely,
just stop doing that. It's rich people taking advantage of what they have and taking things from other people and using them for their own good.
This just blows my mind that it's back in the 70s, the 60s, 70s, even 80s, early 80s, and prior to, this would have been a normal occurrence.
Oh, yeah, because they were like, oh, what's this? Let's touch it.
Let's touch it. Let's screw it. Like, people back in, like, there's a straight up a documentary on YouTube. I can't remember what it's called, but it's about mummies. And you watch these people open this tomb with their bare hands, touch this mummy with their bare hands. Mind you, this mummy is now so frail and brittle, you can't touch it at all. Because they exposed it to air.
And the toxins in your hands and
It was
stuff,
like one of the most well-preserved mummies in the world. Like, her skin was still soft.
She was beautiful.
I can't remember the name of the mummy, but like her skin was still soft. You could her hair was still supple. Her everything. She looked alive when they opened it, and now you look at it, and it's just papery thin. Like, everything's frail. There's holes in her skin where they touched her. It's why are we digging up dead people? But B, why are we touching dead people with our hands?
Oh, there's no way.
I do art
there's
like
no way.
using dead things. Like, I do that.
There's something weird about touching like dead people.
It's like, it's not respectful. The way that things are handled is not respectful. This is extraordinarily disrespectful to the culture. To
the culture in particular. Like, you're just a white guy from the U.S. going to this other culture and taking their things and touching it.
This frustrates me all the way to hell and back.
Yeah, that's
why I'm still here.
Yeah.
It frustrated me back from hell.
I went to hell. I got so mad and I came back. It's like sculptures and stuff. You can tell if a sculpture has been touched a lot because of like marks on it that have worn it down.
Even non-sculptures. Like, there's a tree. It's called the Osage orange tree in Harrodsburg, Kentucky. At Fort Herod National Park. I think it's a national park. It might be a state park.
Some kind of park.
Don't quote me. I think it's a state park.
Yeah. I used to have my birthday parties there.
But this tree, would have been the world's largest, largest in circumference tree.
It's huge.
But it's split down the middle. And so, I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's not harming the tree at all. But it became this playground for children and adults to climb on this tree. And you can see my dad, he's 60 some years old, climbed on this, and he said even before he climbed on it, there's spots on the tree that are shiny and they're burnished.
It feels like plastic. Almost the whole tree feels like plastic
because
now.
of the oils on her skin and shoes and feet and hands just sliding against it.
On them all the time.
Burnished all the wood and made it soft and shiny, and it looks fake.
I've recently been climbing on that tree. I've been climbing on it because it's
like
just so fun.
Home.
Yeah. Well, it's like in the summertime, you go there and there's like 10 kids playing on it.
And you climb up to the tallest part of the tree and you're like, I'm a big kid.
Yeah, exactly. And then you like fall off it.
Yeah.
Like me.
I've never fallen off it.
Oh, I have. Well, it's like slippery.
It is slippery. No,
because of all of the human contact that have been with it.
And that's what is going to
happen to art.
That's what happens to art.
It gets slippery and you fall off of it.
And that's the end of the podcast. Thanks everybody for listening.
Have a nice night, and we'll see you next week. Oh God, geez. No. But let me conclude.
Okay.
This by saying that David Green, his name is David, right? Yeah, Green. He released a statement, saying we have accepted responsibility and learned a great deal. Our entire team is committed to the highest standards for investigating and acquiring these items. Investigating and acquiring these items. Our passion for the Bible continues, and we will do all that we can to support the efforts to conserve items.
Clearly not.
That will help illuminate and enhance our understanding of this great book.
In other words, he got caught.
But the government was like, no.
No.
And so they
Sorry.
I wrote it down. Oh, here it is. The government filed a settlement where the company has to give back all of the artifacts as well as $3 million. So
they lost $11 million essentially. $10 million. Sorry, I can do math.
I don't know. I can't.
They lost.
An article came out recently, which is what drew me to this, where it said within the past couple of weeks or something that Hobby Lobby has given up only 245 of the artifacts and still have thousands to go. So they're I guess working at it. I don't know what you have to work at.
Why can't you just ship
Why
them all
can't
back?
you just give them back? Like I get like no, I don't get it. Never mind. I don't get
You
it.
can't pretend like you get it because
can't.
literally all you have to do is ship them back.
It's like, hi, the government wants these. Okay,
Have them.
have them. I did something wrong.
Oops. Send it back.
Here's
I
$3
think
million.
this
because I
guy
can't.
does not deserve just to give them back and pay that $3 million. I think he needs to serve petty jail time because
Pettiest jail time.
because he broke a law
Yeah.
and he's rich, so he's getting
Illegally
off.
smuggled artifacts.
He's
from
rich,
Iraq.
so he's getting off of any sort of punishment other
And
than
it's like,
paying.
oh wow, he's opening a Bible museum.
Oh,
he can't go
that's
to
okay.
jail.
Pat him on the back.
God will help him in the end.
Anyway,
My sources for this was like mostly hyperallergic.com.
you're welcome.
Thank you. It's a good.
Hyperallergic is one of my favorite
Hyperallergic
websites.
is good. It gave me a lot of information.
Yeah. So to wrap up the culture section, right now everything's a shit show.
That was the art section, not the culture section. Oh no. Same thing. It's fine.
Oops. I mean, culturally it sucks.
Yeah.
Artistically, it really sucks.
It's terrible. I feel like any artist that reads this is just like cringing in their.
I wonder what Sarah Sheik would say about this. Dr. Sheik would
let's send her the link to our podcast. Dr. Sheik is our favorite thing about life.
Dr. Sarah Sheik, if anybody's curious.
Shout out. She's wonderful.
She teaches at our college.
She gives me life to move on.
All right. So to wrap that up and move on to our next section because we
have
are
one last section.
literally 47
minutes of this podcast.
It's fine.
It's okay because
It's interesting.
it's interesting to us and it's
we
hopefully interesting
hope-
to you.
And by all means, contact us at totallyunprofessionalpodcast@gmail.com and give us suggestions.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Because like
please.
we would thrive.
We're
we would thrive.
so like open to suggestions,
We want
comments.
to keep it relevant. We
Yeah.
want to know what everybody wants to hear about.
We want to know what we're doing wrong.
Yeah.
What we're doing right.
And if we're doing anything right.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Or
Because this is obviously like we're just trying to figure it out.
we also made a Facebook. We made a Twitter
And
and
Instagram.
Instagram. We wanted to start with the main main platforms that.
We also don't want to put half of our asses in. We want to put our whole asses in. And we don't know if our asses can spread that far.
Exactly. That's such a great way to say it.
Let me plug our socials real fast.
Okay.
So our Facebook page is Totally Unprofessional Podcast. If you search it on Facebook,
We're also gonna put this all in the
You can find
description.
it. Yeah, I mean,
so
like-
if you really do want to follow us and give us feedback, you can message us.
Yeah.
We will respond most likely immediately because we're gonna be really excited.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just Totally Unprofessional Podcast. I'm gonna create the username, but the username is gonna be also just Totally Unprofessional Podcast.
Yeah.
Like it exists, and if you search it, you can find it.
Yeah.
Our Twitter, I'm fairly certain, is also just Totally Unprofessional Podcast.
Yeah. We're really.
No. Twitter was the one that was weird.
It was weird because
It's Unprofesh Pod. So,
Unprofessional.
and then our Instagram is just Totally Unprofessional Podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. I like Instagram a lot, so
I'm a Twitter hoe. So
yeah. But yeah, our last segment that we have is
about us because we're self-centered.
it's about us because we just like talking about ourselves, I guess. Oh, no, it's our podcast. We can talk about ourselves.
Are we allowed to be? We're not Karen and Georgia level self-centered yet.
Oh no, we don't have 30 minutes of just talking about ourselves.
Like the intro is
the intro is just them talking, and then skippers can.
Skippers.
We're waiting. We're saving it to the end, so you can stop now if you want.
No,
I'm
please
kidding.
don't stop. Please hang out and
No.
listen because we might have some really valuable information about things going on in the art world. 'Cause
Yeah.
I do.
Oh, what you got for me today?
Yeah. So we're gonna start talking about classes and our college experience. I guess we're just gonna give you the rundown.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't want
so-
to keep it too long.
Yeah.
I can cut out a little bit from when you went to get water.
Yeah. I mean, we're definitely gonna edit some of this down.
Yeah, some of it.
But yeah, so I am in a class called Junior Focus, and it is an exhibition class. So the goal of this is to make a body of work and submit it to be in a show. So out of the, I think they said 35 juniors last year, only 16 got into the show.
That's a lot. Not like
that's a lot that
of
didn't
students.
get in.
That's a lot of like pressure.
Yeah. So if and when, hopefully, that I create this body of work and get it into the show, it's going to be at Art FM downtown in Louisville. And I will be hopefully able to promote that because I think that would be really cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it would be my first show. It would not be the first time that I've submitted work to be shown.
Right.
It would be my first show. So we're going to hold out for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh, I'm not in any art classes. That's what I'm doing. I'm in a religious studies class, which is really cool. It started, our classes are in 6-week sessions, and we just started a new session yesterday. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday.
Yeah. So is it Eastern?
It's Eastern religion.
Ooh.
Yes, because I'm not a fan of Western religion.
Yeah, I mean, neither.
It's so interesting.
Can't say that.
I have already learned like 3 whole entire pages of terminology that I'm really excited about.
Oh, jeez. What are you learning about? Tell me.
We're focusing on Hinduism right now.
Ooh.
Oh, it's so interesting. Because I've never really learned
Educate
about
your
it
damn self.
Getting educated. Mama, I'm doing it. Yeah, it's super cool. I'm really excited for it. I get to do a project on Taoism.
These choppers in Louisville, they've got to calm down.
Helicopters, they need to chill. But yeah, it's super interesting. I'm really excited. My class is at 8 a.m., but it's the only class that I have right now, so I get to clean for hours afterwards. Like
That's
today.
what he does in his spare time, not make art.
I'm sure that now that I've done my cleaning, I can go to my studio for the hours that I have before going to work. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful time.
I'm also in a painting class, which is going to be fun and expensive.
Oh, God, yes.
But one of my favorite classes that I'm the most excited about is I'm in a queer and feminism theory through art history class.
With Professor
Chic.
Professor Dr. Chic.
Professor Dr. Chic. Mom, Dr. Professor Chic.
That's her official title is Mom, Dr. Professor Sarah Chic.
Mostly I just address her as Sarah.
Sarah, yeah. She's wonderful. But I wish I had that class, but it was like full within 5 minutes of the registration opening.
Oh my God.
Art school's wild. I think
we actually
broke art school.
Broke it. We broke the registration.
The registration, it like shut down.
Yeah,
because
IT had to go back in and fix it.
So many people were trying to register for that class.
Let me just preface this with our class sizes are tiny.
Oh, yeah.
So this class is at 30 people. That's the biggest class that they've ever had.
Yeah.
And it's at max capacity.
7,
there's no more room. There's no
7,
chairs.
Yeah.
Actually, no physical room.
There's 7 people on the wait list.
7.
And the classes started yesterday.
The classes started yesterday.
7 people on the wait list.
I think there's 8 people on the wait list now.
Oh, God.
I could be wrong.
I almost joined the wait list just because.
Because then it'll be more likely offered next. I mean, she said she's
Oh,
gonna
no,
offer
it's
it
definitely going to be offered again because of how high demand it is. Anyways.
But anyway, so I'm going to pull up my notes from class.
Our school is, like, kind of really new. Our college is kind of really, no, it's, like, really new.
Like 2011.
Yeah, there's been, like, 2 graduating classes? Maybe 3 now.
This will be the 3rd.
Okay.
I think.
No, maybe this will be the... How long have we been here?
Too long.
There's been a few, but only a few.
Okay. So
we're growing and doing well.
We talked about, and I love this piece. Love it, love it, love it. To death. I love this piece. So we compared Nicki Minaj's Anaconda album.
Oh, I love when Sarah talks about Nicki Minaj's Anaconda album.
The album cover.
Yes.
To Picasso's Mademoiselle d'Avignon.
Yep.
Which is super awesome.
Because there's so many there's so many parallels.
And we don't know. Like, I feel like Nicki was kind of aware.
I don't know.
She's
I feel like she had to have been aware.
Well, she's super like aware of the cultural references that she makes, but
Yeah.
we don't know if that was like a direct reference to that, because there's also other pieces that it could reference, but it's just
It's strikingly similar.
super interesting. But the piece that we talked about today is Judy Chicago's dinner table.
Oh yes, Judy Chicago dinner table. We're gonna be seeing that hopefully.
Hopefully, if the Met does not have it put away.
Yeah, if the Met's not hiding it.
Hey Met, if you're listening, don't put that away.
Do that. We really want to
Don't close that.
We really
want to see that. But yeah, we talked about Judy Chicago's dinner table, which is 1974 to 1979, and how, like, if you're not familiar with it, it is this enormous dinner table with, like, a pool in the middle of it, I think.
It's shaped into a triangle.
It's shaped into a triangle, so it's Ionic symbolism, again.
The pubic triangle.
And each plate, so it starts with the fertility goddesses and ends up with Georgia O'Keeffe.
Mm-hmm. I think that's right. I think you're right, probably.
Yeah,
that sounds right.
That's definitely something.
Yeah.
But, so we were talking about how, like, this was such a big step in its time, and it was super interesting, but also now in today's world, the way that it's portrayed doesn't meet up with the new wave of feminism and queer theory as it stands.
Yeah.
So, because it's very, like, binary. There's, like, 3 black women.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just speaks for the time that it was in also.
And, well, I mean, yes, it does speak to the time. And like I said, it was relevant and important in the time.
Yeah.
And it's still important today.
It's still so important.
But it's not addressing the issues that have come up in today's world.
Yeah, which is to be expected, you know? I mean,
yeah, I mean,
things evolve and
they get dated.
Yeah.
Things get dated. So something that was pointed out to me that, I mean, I haven't seen the piece. I've seen pictures.
Oh, yes.
Hopefully we get to see it. But something that was pointed out to me was that on the table, for each place setting, for each person, there is, like, textiles of some sort in, like, vaginal-esque shapes, except for the black women.
Oh, I don't think I knew that.
That was something that was pointed out today.
Yeah, I don't think I knew that.
So the black women's settings at the table were, and this is referencing, like, the Knights at the Round Table, the the Last Supper, where it's all men at a table in power, and so it's like a flipping the script kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like,
but they completely, like, desexualized, which
that's so interesting.
In a weird way, it's interesting because now it's like people of color of any sort are considered, you know, quote unquote exotic, or they're overly sexualized because that's all they are.
Right.
And I'm not saying everybody feels that way,
like
or but
kind of shitty.
It happens, and in a lot of cases, like, women of color are overtly sexualized, especially in the porn industry.
Yeah, that's like, but it's a category on Pornhub rather than it just being
women,
right?
So in this instance, it was completely non-sexualized, and they were, like, removed like they weren't human. So it's something that we're talking about.
So gross.
In the class. It's really interesting to study up on, see what has changed, what hasn't changed, and the ways that feminism has evolved since, you know, like, first wave feminism into now, where it, you know, that today doesn't include women that don't identify within the binary or transgender women.
We should make a new dinner table.
It's been done.
Oh shit. God damn it. I tried. I had a spark of idea. And
hey, if it's
okay.
If it's an idea that you've had, it's been done.
Yeah, that's true. That you're right. Can't beat myself
Reinventing the wheel here.
But this time I'm inventing it square.
And that doesn't work.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah, so that was something that I was, like, super interested that we talked about today in class.
I love art history courses.
I also do. So yeah, do you want to wrap this horse and pony show up?
Oh God, I hate that. Why do you say that?
I'm gonna stick it in there every time.
Why?
Every time.
At least I didn't scream laugh this time.
I did.
You scream laughed. I didn't. I kept my cool this episode. Oh, yeah, I have that too.
Yeah, we're just trying to figure out life right now. Excuse me while I sip on some water. Wait.
God, why are you like that? Oh, that's ugly. Ew. Okay. Anyways.
I typed it up in last week's notes. I told you. You were so mad. That's not the right notes.
That's not the right notes. But thank you to everybody who actually.
No, wait.
No, hold on. I just want to say, like, got through the first episode and are here for this one.
Dude, the first episode was such a wreck.
Garbage. Like, it was so much fun, and I'm really glad that we, like, just did it. But also, we didn't have anything, like, planned necessarily, and it was all kinds of mess. And we actually have structure to our stuff now. And I just wanted to thank everybody that is still here with us listening.
That made it to this episode.
That made it here.
And thanks to the people that, like, literally followed our social media accounts.
Like, immediately.
Yeah. That was awesome.
No, yeah,
I was not expecting
we
that.
have some followers.
Yes, we have some spam. Some spam bots.
Yeah, I get that on my personal all the time.
Same.
But the fact that, like, people follow us on stuff, and we only have, like, one episode out so far. We're going to have another one is amazing.
Super cool.
And the first episode is just absolute nonsense. So
total garbage.
So amazing, and I can't wait for them to hear this one.
So thanks so much to everyone who made it through this episode.
Stick around for more exciting stuff next week. And remember, we are highly trained unprofessionals.